Órale, Cholo Trucker, Mas movies and shows. Okay, so I was chopping it up with a buddy of mine. Shouts to my boy Robert Anthony, and he recommended this movie. I love action movies, especially from the 80s and 90s. And this is one I had not heard of, but I had seen a piece of this movie. I never got the name of it, and I never actually watched the entire movie. So when he told me about it, I'm like, let me go ahead and let me check it out. So I'm gonna do a review on it, and you know what? I'm gonna go back to some of these old school movies that I've never seen before, if they're worth watching, and do a review on them. But anyway, let's go ahead and let's get into it. This is The Getaway, the 1994 uh, version of the movie The Getaway. The Getaway is an hour and 55 minutes long. You can find this movie on Tubi, Pluto TV, Plex, Peacock, Amazon Prime Video, Fubo TV, Sling TV, YouTube, Google Plays Movie and TV, Apple TV, and Fandango at home. I went ahead and I watched this on Peacock. Let's get to the description. Doc and Carol McCoy are married criminals looking for a high-paying score. When Doc ends up in a Mexican prison, Carol tells mob boss Jack Benyon that Doc will work for him if Benyon can free him from prison. Benyon hires Doc to rob a dog track, but after the heist goes terribly wrong, Doc and Carol escape with the cash. With a bitter thief and Benyon's hired help on their trail, Doc and Carol must fight to survive. All right, Rotten Tomatoes has this movie at 33%. Good gosh, shame on Rotten Tomatoes. All right, so listen, this is my time, man. This is my era. Action movies from the 80s and 90s. This is all about me, man. That just puts my childhood in view right there. Okay, so I had never seen this movie, but I did see a piece of this movie. I don't know when, I don't know where I was. It definitely wasn't in 1994. It was many years later, and I saw a piece of it, and I thought, like, huh, oh, okay, that looks pretty interesting. But I never got the name of it, and I never sat down to watch it. And that is the train station scene. I did see that scene. I don't remember where or anything of where I was at or how I came to watch that scene. All right, so my buddy Robert Anthony, he went ahead, he recommended this movie. So all right, let me go ahead, let me check it out. Man, I'll tell you guys this. This movie, basically, the description reads everything, tells you pretty much everything about this movie, what this movie's about. Yes, they are a criminal couple. They are Bonnie and Clyde, criminal couple who, they get scores, man. And not just banks, but, anything for money, right? They had this mission to break somebody out of jail. So they did that, right? As long as they get paid, that's all that matters to them. And at one point, something goes wrong, and he ends up in prison in Mexico. Play Alec Baldwin, a young Alec Baldwin, a young Kim Basinger. Man, she's good looking, man, especially back in those days. Um, so he ends up in prison, and she wants to break him out. And pretty much, she goes to his mob boss and says, "Hey, can you get him out?" Right? She has to pay a price, and one of the things that she has to pay up. I'll keep that a secret. You guys can go ahead and watch the movie. But another thing is that, hey, you know what? He'll go ahead and he'll work for you. So that's basically what it is. He comes out of prison and now they have to go ahead and rob a dog track, which is crazy. I don't know if there's any more dog tracks in these United States of America. I would, if anybody knows, let me know because I'd actually prefer going to see dogs racing than horse racing on the real. I was a big fan of the show Miami Vice, and it always showed dog racing, and I'm like, man, I want to go see some dog racing. But to the best of my knowledge, dog racing is done in the United States. If I'm wrong, let me know. But anyways, they go ahead, they rob the place, and of course, like anything else, one of the guys gets greedy, and guess who it is? It is Michael Manson, which is how this movie came to be. In our conversation, with my conversation with Robert Anthony, We're talking about Michael Manson here on this channel since he passed away. May he rest in peace. How much I liked him, and he brought up this movie, and I'm like, wow, I never seen this movie. So that's what made me check this movie out. And he plays a really good heel, a really good bad guy in this movie. He's got long hair. He's a greedy guy. He wants all the money. He pretends to be your friend, and bam, he wants to backstab you and take all the cash for himself. So when that happens, things go terribly wrong. And James Woods is in this movie. He's the guy that plays the big mob guy. He's looking to kill as well. He's everybody's just greedy in this, right? The only one that's staying honest, if you can call honesty, right, with a bunch of thieves, is just Alec Baldwin. I mean, he's the one that, okay, look, we made a deal, I shook your hand, you're gonna get your cut, I get my cut, we go our separate ways, let's keep it clean, right? But everybody else is about like, all right, cool, the job is done. Now let me see if I can screw this guy over. And that's basically, you jump in a pit with snakes, you're gonna get bit. Um, I enjoyed this movie. I really did. It was, I'll tell you guys this. It is not over the top action packed. Okay. There's movies where it's like, it gets too ridiculous with the action scenes. Like, okay, all right, come on. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. For that time, for that era, overdoing it with action scenes, that was a thing, and it made it kind of cool, right? But with this movie, they kept the action scenes pretty simple. Nothing too crazy, nothing too like super duper unbelievable. Where it's like, okay, come on, what are we doing here? A guy fell off a building, he got shot 5 times, and he still, has it in him to get in a full fight scene. Nothing too crazy. It's pretty believable stuff, man, where it's like, all right, okay, cool. And it's just simple. The movie's simple, not a lot of bells and whistles, not a lot of lights going on, not they keep it pretty simple. It's mainly in the desert. I enjoyed it. I really did. And with all the actors that are in there, you get to see them, at their best, from James Woods and Michael Manson and Alec Baldwin, Kim Basinger, a couple more actors in there where it's like, oh yeah, yeah, I've seen that person in this or that, whatever it may be, right? But good story, good ending. I like the whole story to the movie. I was engaged the entire time. And this is a movie that is over 30 years old. It still holds up very, very well today. I get it. From what I understand, it's a remake, but I really enjoyed this movie, and I do recommend it for people who like old school movies, old school action movies, and you have not seen this one yet. I recommend it because every now and then, growing up in that time, growing up in that era, I didn't watch every single action movie out there. So there's quite a few handful of movies that I've been told about that I need to go back and I need to watch, but I don't want to waste my time. This one did not waste my time. I'm glad I watched it. That is The Getaway. Cholo Trucker, Moss Movies and Shows. Catch you guys on next one.